Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Rafaela, and today's topic of discussion, as well as the title of the written piece that I'm here to present to you, is I Am Not Clay. And it's for anyone who ever felt the quiet pull of becoming something that they're not, of becoming something smaller, something more digestible, something more convenient for the people around them, just so that those people love and accept you. So today I would like to read out to you what I have typed up on that. You start to notice, if you pay attention, that people often want you to change, and it's not necessarily because they want what's best for you and because they have your best interest at heart, but sometimes because they want to feel comfortable being around you. They want you to fit into their expectations, to live out the version of you that they have in their heads of how you should be and how you should show up for them. The strange thing is, most of us don't ask that of others. We let people be who they are. We give grace, we accept differences, and we make space. But the moment you stand firm in your truth, the moment you stop performing or apologizing for existing as you are, that's when the pressure begins. The subtle suggestions, the disguised critiques, the "you're too much and you have changed and I liked you better when..." And what they're really trying to say is, I liked you better when you were easier to manage. The lesson that comes in is, you're not here to be manageable. You're not clay, you're not a sculpture in progress for someone else's comfort or convenience. You're not meant to be shaped into versions that make other people feel safe. Because every time you allow yourself to be molded for someone else's satisfaction, a piece of your own authenticity gets left behind. Here's something that you will learn with time. You don't have to demand change from anyone, nor should you. You don't have to beg people to treat you right, to see you, or to value what you bring. If they can't meet you where you are, you don't need to shout it louder, but you do need to take a step back, quietly, cleanly, without drama or resentment, and let distance do the explaining. When you walk away from spaces where you have had to shrink, something beautiful happens. Peace starts to take up the space that people once used to. You stop performing, you stop chasing, you stop trying to prove your worth to people who only saw fragments of it to begin with. Understand this: authenticity will always trigger the wrong people. When you are whole, you hold up a mirror to those who are still hiding behind pieces, and not everyone is ready to face what the reflection reflects back at them. Some will try and dull your shine, not because you're too bright, but because your light exposes their shadows. And at one point, you will face a choice. Do I make myself smaller for their comfort, or do I stay rooted in who I am? Now, for me personally, the answer to that depends on one single question, and it's, is their comfort worth the cost of my peace? Because here's the truth that most people don't tell you. When you change for someone else, they get relief. They get the benefit of your change, but you carry the burden of pretending, of betraying your own boundaries, of disconnecting from a version of you that once felt sure. And that kind of loss doesn't happen all at once. It seeps in slowly, and it shows up in hesitation, in doubt, in the moment you start to ask yourself if you're too much, when really you were just too honest for the wrong crowd. There's a deep kind of peace that comes with self-acceptance. It doesn't mean that you just stop growing, but it means that your growth is self-led, and is not driven by guilt, fear, or someone else's expectations. You evolve because you want to, not because someone has made your belonging conditional. And that's the lesson. You are allowed to outgrow people without resentment. You are allowed to walk away quietly, and you are allowed to protect your energy without apology. The right people won't require you to fragment yourself just to stay close. They'll meet you in your fullness, not in your fragments. Self-acceptance isn't arrogance, it's an armor. In a world that constantly tries to reshape us into something easier to digest, the most radical act of love is to stay true to yourself, to stop proving, to stop negotiating your worth, to exist as you are unapologetically. So if you ever felt like you need to change just to be chosen, hear this. You don't need to prove your value through transformation that wasn't born from your own heart. You're not a project, you're not an idea to be edited. You are already enough, evolving, imperfect, and whole. Protect your peace, stand tall in your truth, and never feel guilty for walking away from anything that asks you to lose yourself just to keep it. The people meant for you won't ask you to shrink, they'll expand with you. And you should keep choosing yourself until it no longer feels like a rebellion, but like a return to home. Because that's what you deserve: peace, wholeness, and the freedom of being exactly who you are.